Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Really happy to share with you today somebody that I consider to be such a close and dear friend. And I know you've heard me say this before, but you guys don't even understand. I absolutely adore Janet Johnson, and she is our special guest today. She's going to be talking to us about money mindset and four really detrimental mistakes that we might be making. So I'm personally on the edge of my seat, just waiting to hear all the juicy information that she has to share with us. But fortunately, we have some friends who've joined us over here in our Zoom studio. And so I'm going to invite you, if it feels right for you, why don't you just hop onto your camera and you could take this opportunity to share with our group who you are and what it is that you do. And Anne Marie, did you want to start?
Hi, sure. My name is Anne Marie Sigisig, and I've known Janet a long time. She's fabulous. And I'm a financial planner. I specialize in Medicare, and I am based in Farmington, Connecticut.
Awesome. Very nice that you were able to join us here today. And I don't know if the other ladies wanted to hop in and share who they are and what they do. All you have to do is unmute if you are available for that. Going once, going twice. Chris, welcome.
Um, I'll go. I am not camera ready.
That's
However,
okay.
this is awesome, and I just wanted to join the meeting today. I've known Janet since our college days. Go QU. I'm a small shop business owner, and I'm based out of Austin, Texas, and that's about it. So I'm happy just to kind of sit in and hear and listen what you ladies are going to provide to us today. Great information. I'm looking forward to.
Thank you, Chris, so much for sharing. And I think with that, we'll just take a moment to say hi to everybody who's joined us over on Facebook. Welcome. Thank you so much. Guys, feel free to, if you have any questions or concerns for Janet during the time that we're having this conversation, just drop it right here in the chat or drop it in the chat over here on Facebook. I'm pointing, but you can't see me pointing. Drop it in the chat over on Facebook, and I'll definitely pose these questions to Janet as we go along. All right, so Janet, you're up. Can you share with everybody, please? Who are you, and what is it that you're doing in the world?
Sure. Well, I'm Jana Johnson, and I'm a profit mindset coach. I'm based out of West Hartford right now, but I certainly work with people all across the country. And what I basically do is I help women entrepreneurs create order, peace, and prosperity in their business so that they can provide for their families and for themselves. And I love this. Davia, thank you so much for having me today. And thank you to Anne Marie and for Krista for coming. I'm just like so thrilled. So cool.
That's awesome. So I'm just going to invite everybody who's joined us over on our Facebook group. Just drop a comment in the chat. It's Free Gift Friday, everybody. And if you drop a comment in the chat, you are entered to win the wonderful prize that Janet has for you today. But before we get into the prizes and all the wonderful things that she has to give us, Janet, tell us the bottom line. What's the meat of what you want to share with us today?
All right. So the meat is I want to share with everybody the four dangerous money mindsets to watch out for. Just to let you know, I've dealt with all of them. So I'm not coming from a place of judgment whatsoever. I'm coming from a place of like, yeah, if you're feeling this way, then you can shift out of it. And here's some tips on how.
But
So that's what we're.
Janet, I have a question for you. I mean, look, man, when it comes to earning money, you just go to work and you earn money, right? Isn't that how it works? No?
Well, kind of. It's kind of like depending on what's going on with you personally, it kind of like shows up in how you work. When you're an entrepreneur and if you're feeling funky a little bit about money or you feel bad for asking or, people to pay, then it's kind of like it reflects back on you because then you don't have that extra fund to, pay for your kids' college or go grocery shopping, as much as you'd like. So, certainly all that personal stuff it comes, it reflects in your business.
So it shows
So
up in the balance sheet, what's happening with you on the inside.
absolutely. Now,
Interesting.
yeah. Now, let me share with you one of the money mindsets, the one thing that that I've dealt with for a very long time. So, one of the attitudes I hear a lot is, Janet, I don't think I can handle it if I get bigger. Right. Like, so you're juggling a lot. You might have kids, you have a full time job, you have friends and family. And what's funny about this, and Kristen knows, is like my nickname growing up was always Big J since I was, like 10 years old through college. It's like my lifelong like nickname. But yeah, that's like one of my biggest fears. And what it really says underneath is that perhaps, or no, I definitely do have problems with perfection and perfection paralysis, meaning that like I don't want to launch until I know that it's perfect. And if it's not perfect, then how am I going to handle getting bigger? So the attitude around that I'm working on for myself is actually dealing with over responsibility, right? So like Davia, like let's say for a tip for yourself, one of the big tips that people can do to get through this, being afraid of getting bigger, is to really practice compassionate detachment. Now, what that means is that, say you're a chiropractor and your client doesn't do the exercises that you suggested for them to do. And you said these exercises and these stretches will help you, feel so much better and get more energy. Now, if that person doesn't do what you prescribed and they don't feel good, by all means, it's not your responsibility, to call them up or go to their house and make them stretch, right? So sometimes we have to detach a little bit and allow the person to, pull up their energy enough to like do it for themselves. So that's one of the mindset issues is I can't handle it if I get bigger.
I can't
So that's
handle it if I get bigger. Okay, I'm going to put this in the chat so people can see them. I'm going to number them so people can have them all. But I'm going to invite you, Janet, to afterwards, just feel free to hop on over into the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group, and engage in conversation with us over there so that we can keep this conversation going because I look at the statistics. I'm a recovering researcher, so if it's in black and white, I'm probably interested in it. If there's a double-blinded, placebo-controlled study about it, I'm probably about it. And what I see is the statistics show only about 4% of female entrepreneurs ever break the $1 million barrier in their business. 4% is not a lot. So I know women work harder than anybody else. So it can't just be show up for work and it all happens. There has to be something else. So mindset number one, worrying about growing too big. I'm going to put that in the chat. What's next? And I am losing you a little bit there, Janet. I think somebody's internet connection is unstable. It could be mine. But
yeah.
let me just see if I can close some windows here.
Off my video, that usually helps.
Okay, let's do that for a minute and see if that works.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. So what you were saying with the 4% of business owners who are women don't break the $1 million thing. Yeah.
Yep, I'm hearing you. I'm definitely hearing you better now.
That's, I kind of see that a lot, and I see it through a cultural perspective. For women, mainly not to be nurturers, and to always put others first. So this is very much in relation to the mindset problem number 2, which is always saying, I love what I do, but it's not about the money. Right. So what that looks like is when maybe a women entrepreneur, perhaps she doesn't raise her prices or doesn't want to come across as being greedy. Other times she might give a lot of free stuff, which is fine unless her energy around it leads to resentment or feeling like they're taking advantage of. So the problem when a woman says, I love what I do, but it's not about the money, means that financially they can't, really share their gifts, or they can't really get out there and share their purpose as fully as they could had they charged fairly in the first place. So when a woman is able to get over that, right? When a woman is able to charge fairly and feel really great about what they're giving, is that they feel more satisfied, and they feel satisfied but well balanced, and that they don't have to sacrifice themselves in order to have a business or to make money from it. So my tip with that, and this is another thing that I deal with, is that whenever you do a speaking engagement or a workshop, rather than just going out there on your own, try to partner with an organization that means a lot to you. So for me, it's April 24th. I could put the link later. It's a fundraiser. So every time I do a talk, it's going to be a fundraiser linked to an organization that I care about. That way, when it comes time to collecting money, it's not just for me, it's also for the organization that I care about. And in this case, in April, it's called Organized Parents Make a Difference. They are awesome. I love them.
I love that tip. That's a wonderful tip. And that's actually something that we've employed over here at Ladies Power Lunch because truly, Janet, I do Ladies Power Lunch just out of love. I know it sounds like I'm buying into this mindset, but it really is not about money at all. It's because you know what it was like for us when we were newly minted entrepreneurs coming up into the world, and we didn't have the sort of support mechanisms that maybe there are more of now. And so forming our own little group of supportive, intentionally supportive women was really important for me. So now what we do when we have our summits is very similar to what you're doing, and it is that we support the Ladies Power Lunch Foundation through
Mhm.
the ticket purchases. And so the Ladies Power Lunch Foundation, it's housed at the Main Street Community Foundation, and basically the grant that we're building is going to go back into the woman entrepreneur community to support more women in business who need more. So in that way I can feel myself letting go of the desire to do everything for free and say, okay, this money is going to a good cause. How does that hit you, Janet?
Absolutely. Being a person, I'm first generation American. My parents immigrated to here from the Philippines in the 70s. And so it always meant so much to me to not just see my money just, work in one spot, but to kind of like spread the wealth. And when you're able to see where that wealth goes and how it helps other people, it's so much more. It drives me, it's encouraging. It's really exciting to see how that helps. But you know what? It's hard to kind of get there without we need money, sometimes, you need the money to help generate it, you know.
Yes,
So
I totally agree with that. And I just want to say hi to all the ladies who are joining us over on Facebook. Want to remind you, if you've joined us, just put a note in the chat saying hi so that we can enter you into the drawing for today's free Gift Friday gift. Continue, Janet. Please tell us more about some of these money mindsets that we need to be really focused on avoiding.
of course. So this next one is for those of us who are leaving a full-time or part-time job and going full into entrepreneurship. So the money mindset trap for these people is, I don't think that I can make more than I did when I had a job. So this is really hard because oftentimes we feel blocked when we're in that stage because our only comparison is perhaps our salary or what we were paid per hour. And so to go out there and name your price, basically name your worth or your value, is really, really challenging for these people who have never done it before. Sometimes it feels like, oh, I want to grow, but I need permission from somebody else before I grow. Like when we're in a job, right? Like we want to do projects X, Y, and Z, but we need permission from our manager to actually go ahead and do that. So it's really helpful when a person who's coming from that sort of background to realize that they don't need anybody else's permission to move forward. They have enough permission coming from within themselves, but if you always are feeling like you're striving to appease a manager or a boss, that can lead to overworking and over delivering on your end. And so this business you started to find freedom in your life, it's not so freeing that way. And so that's why it's really important to kind of give yourself permission, to move ahead. So one tip I have for those of us who are struggling with that right now, and I just left my part-time job last year, the one that I absolutely loved. So this one really resonates with me. The affirmations that I like to start with it's safe to, fill in the blank. It's safe to make more money now than I did in my job. That 4-letter word safe really hits us home because it's not about a mental it's not like a rationalization. It's something that hits your heart. And so it, to your depth. So I would try creating affirmations around safety. Okay. So that's the third one.
Affirmations around safety. It is safe. It's interesting that you bring this one up because safety is probably something that we don't usually think about when we think about money.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's many people who, feel like in order to feel safe, they need to have, say, $1 million in savings, or there's people who need to have a certain amount of investments, or they're so afraid of being an entrepreneur. Safety means having a full-time job with benefits and salary. So that's why, like, this is something that I wouldn't recommend writing affirmations for somebody else because it's so personal. It's so personal to you to write your own affirmation.
Beautiful. I'm going to ask you, Janet, maybe our internet situation has been resolved. How about if we ask you to try to come back on camera and see how that works out?
To do what? Do you want me to get on camera?
Yes, please. I want to make sure that you're on camera when we do our drawing. So let's try that. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So tell us number 4. What is the 4th mindset that we need to kind of rethink as far as money goes?
Oh, number 4 is a killer for me too. I, as a person who grew up in my family-owned business, I certainly feel this, and I've struggled with it for most of my life. But the 4th money mindset that's a dangerous belief is if I want to make more, I'll have to work harder.
Oh, yes, so, that is insidious.
Yeah. It's literally a killer, right? So the description you'll see, or what you'll see when somebody's struggling with this is that they're driven to overwork and they struggle with self-care. Sometimes they might feel like, who am I to make a salad, right? Who am I to go for a walk? I need to work on my business, and that's so unfortunate because like you're going to lose your life basically, if you don't take care of your health. This is a problem also because whenever you're with your family, you're not fully present with them. You might be thinking of like, okay, what can I do for my business? What does my customer need from me? And meanwhile, you have a little girl or a little boy or a sister or somebody who needs you, but sees your eyeballs looking at the screen and not being present with them. And so that's a big problem with this. However, when an entrepreneur can get through this mindset and solve it, basically they have a more fulfilled life because not only are they eating healthy and perhaps enjoying, quality time with friends and family, they feel so much more satisfaction, not just in the business with the numbers, but also like throughout all areas of their life. And so my tip for this person who overworks and who, basically multitasks too much is to consider making some products that are either free or paid. It doesn't matter, but it isn't connected to your one-on-one time. If you know me, you know I've worked in a factory, so I'm a girl who strongly believes in having products and not just services. What this does for you is that it changes your energy. Like with that first sale, you're gonna be like, wow, I made $50 and I'm sitting here having lunch with my son. You know what I mean? So just consider making products, if not to like make money from now, but at least to kind of change your energy around if I want to make more, I have to work harder.
And I remember you came on the show some time ago and you shared with us some of the platforms that you like for creating courses and that sort of thing. So I would invite anybody who's thinking about creating products, you can go back into the Ladies Power Lunch YouTube channel and look up that particular video and see how Janet talks about making products so that they can work for you even when you're not working. We're getting a lot of hearts and likes over on the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. I have Patrina saying, I have learned to work smarter is way better. People are talking about self care struggles, and just, people are really resonating with all four of these mindset issues that you are mentioning today. So, if people are if people are relating so closely to this, then that means that it's a really really big problem and it's something that we need to solve. What are the
Mm-hmm.
biggest do's and don'ts, just in an overall way, that you would suggest that we consider when we're going forward?
Okay, so a big do is I would suggest surrounding yourself with at least one or two or maybe three really good friends who tell you the truth and kick you in the butt when you need it. Okay, so for example, my husband, and we've been together for over 20 years, he knows how much of a nurturer I am, that he reminds me, or he kind of kicks me in the butt when I'm over giving and starting to feel resentful. That goes for money too. If I'm doing something that, perhaps I'm causing myself to burn out, I have a friend or two who'll check me on that and, tell me honestly, hey, Janet, you need to pull back. So I would suggest that. The don't that I suggest is trying to struggle or fix this on your own, because it makes it so hard to fix our own problems because we're only coming from one perspective. And when you do that, you rationalize and, make excuses for yourself. So it's important to not only have friends who'll kick your butt, but also have somebody in your life who's unbiased, who can, lovingly hold you accountable to the outcomes that you want, the outcomes you want to create for yourself.
Beautiful. I love that. I have always said this thing. It's really difficult to see the picture when you're standing in the picture frame. And I mean, you could try it. You could go build yourself a frame, stand in it, and then try to see the picture and see how that works out for you. Just let me know how that works for you. Take pictures, post it on Facebook. It'll be great.
Possible.
Yeah, maybe not. So I want to invite everybody who is joining us today to just make sure that you've dropped a comment in our Ladies Power Lunch chat over here. I want to say thank you so much for joining. Patrina says, my husband is the one that helps me stay balanced. And I think for very many of us, it's nice to have that supportive spouse who can say to you, you are worth it, and it's really important for you to charge your worth. I really think that's a supportive thing that we can take advantage of probably a little bit more. So Janet, what do you have for us today? What's your wonderful, beautiful gift that you want to share with us?
Sure. I blanked out for a second, but we're
Free gift Friday. Yay.
so what I'm offering, I believe, because I offered a gift somewhere else, but I think it's the same gift. Well, we're doing a free VIP day with me, half day with me. And what we're going to do during that time is we're going to crack your money code, meaning that we're going to dig in and we're going to see, where are these roadblocks that come up for you and what can we do to make it so they don't, hurt you or they don't hold you back. And we do that by leaning on your strengths and then the gifts that you're born with. So that'll see you through most challenges that you deal with, even those difficult money conversations you might have with your family, friends, or clients or customers or prospects. These conversations are really important to have. We'll also do a visualization called I Am Money. And that's certainly one that transforms our relationship with money, especially for those of us who are raised to think, oh, money is the root of all evil, or oh, you're a greedy person. No, like that.
Money doesn't grow on trees. How many of you have heard that one?
My goodness. Oh my goodness. And it's funny because it's like, I never said money grows on trees. I never said that I'm not evil,
Well, technically
And
money
so
does grow on trees because, trees, paper.
sure,
Thing.
you're absolutely right. So, it's important to check that relationship that we have with money. And finally, I think I was aiming for the conscious money compass because we have these goals and these outcomes we want to have in our life. But sometimes, there's so much stuff like thrown at us. It's hard to be really centered in our identity and what we want from the outcome. So what the conscious money compass does is it helps you lead in that way. And what I like to do is I like to hang it up in front of me. I just cleaned, so I don't have it right now, but I like to keep it in front of me so that whenever I'm making a financial decision, I make sure that my decision serves my identity and serves my outcome. And that's what the conscious money compass does. So
This
that's
is
it.
a very, very generous gift, and only one person today will win this gift. But if others of us would like to hop onto that VIP day, do you have a website that we can go to register for that?
Well, that one is actually not even on the website because that's a private VIP day with
Okay,
one.
so what's your website?
The website is called mymoneypivot.com.
Mm-hmm.
And so I should say that I'm doing a fundraiser for Organized Parents Make a Difference. That event takes place on April 24th. So if they go to my website and look at the top menu bar, it says fundraiser right up there. You could
Mm-hmm.
see a description of that day, VIP day, and check out and see if it's something they'd want to do. The price goes up, I think, next week, but for now it's only $47. And I think it's so worth it. We all need help with money empowerment, so why not?
Okay, so everybody who doesn't actually win today can actually go and register for their
Mm-hmm.
mindset day. Wonderful. I love that. All right, so Janet, you're going to have the opportunity to choose our big winner today. I was going to break out the spinning wheel, but
Oh,
well, should I? You know what? Let me go get it. Hang on, guys. Talk among yourselves.
oh, I'm so glad you guys are here. Who's there? I see Anne Marie. I know Krista.
Okay, here we
Oh,
go.
whoa, a real wheel. I've never seen it.
That's cool.
That's so awesome.
Awesome. Okay, so our winner is number 11.
That's one of my favorite numbers, actually.
And wouldn't you just know, our winner is Jacqueline
Oh, yeah.
Kane. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can't. It froze for a second.
I swear the internet is working wonderfully for us today. So our winner today is Jacqueline Keen, and it's hilarious because she was our speaker for today on Ladies Power Lunch Coffee Break. So it is it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And somehow I feel like this is serendipitous because I feel like you both have really synergistic ideas about life. So I think that this is going to be great for her, but I feel like it's going to be great for you too. Isn't it wonderful how things work out?
I love it. I love it so much. Thank you so much for having me talk today. And I'll pop onto the ladies group after this, make sure to answer everyone's questions.
Yes, please do. And please just be sure to drop there how everybody can stay in touch with you so that they can take advantage of this wonderful, wonderful product that you're offering, which I think we all should take advantage of. Thank you
Mhm.
so much, Janet, for joining us today. It was a pleasure. Thank you, everybody who joined us here on Zoom, and to our beautiful people who joined us over on Facebook. And guys, I'll see you all on the next show. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.